Hey Viv, I heard you're not coming back for summer vacation. Is it true? Are you really that busy with work?
Hey, Mackenzie. Yeah, I'm afraid it's true, sis. I did my best, but I couldn't get any time off. My company makes a big song and dance about being pro-family and personal life, which of course means employees with kids get priority on time off. I'm single, so there was no chance I was gonna get the highly contested summer vacation slots.
Oh, I see. That's a shame. There was somewhere I really wanted to go with you. There was a movie I wanted to watch with you too.
Sorry, for every day we don't get to spend together on summer break. I'll make up for double later on when I can finally get some time off. Let's watch the movie then.
Who knows when that's gonna be? Besides, I have school on weekdays.
Right, of course. Not only that, but you have a tons of exam this year, right?
Sure, it's not a big deal though. I could always take some time off from school, if you catch my drift.
No way, your exams are important. Oh, that reminds me. Did you decide which college you want to go yet?
Not yet.
What? But you're in your last year of high school. You don't have forever to make your decision, you know. This is very much a boat that can't be missed. You have to decide soon, sis. You're the sharpest cookie there is. Surely you could get into any college you set your sights on.
That's not true at all.
I love your humility, sis, but you're totally a genius. You got some of the best mock exams results in the school. I bet you'd blow me out of the water. I hardly remember any of that stuff. Math formulas, algebra, calculus, ugh, my brain hurts just thinking about it.
It's hardly something I feel like going around bragging about. You're the amazing one, Viv. I think you're way more impressive than me.
No, that it's a competition. But what makes you say that?
The fact that you had the inner strength to start working the moment you graduated high school, despite having just lost mom and dad in the accident, was nothing short of amazing to me. You might have only been flipping burgers at Peep Donald's, but you were my lifeline. I know it was you who carried on paying for my lessons with a private tutor. I could have cried when I found out. I think you're amazing, and I'm so grateful to have you. You're the best big sister on the whole planet.
Whoa, Mackenzie, are you feeling okay? Did you hit your head? It's not like you to praise me.
Fine, I'll stop if you're gonna be like that.
Sorry, sis, I was just kidding. I'm so happy you think that about me, but I still have a long way to go. To tell you the truth, I wish we could live together. But things are so tough on my end right now that I had no choice but to leave you with Aunt Petunia. If you ask me, I'm not living up to my role as your big sister at all.
That's not true. You're doing great. I wish we could live together too. I'd move in with you right now if I could.
Be careful what you wish for. You'd probably be miserable if you lived with me as things get stand. My apartment, and I hesitate to call it that, is a single room in a company-mandated dorm. It's so cramped even a hobbit would find living here difficult. Not only that, but I work such crazy hours that I'm home late pretty much every night. Even if you lived with me, we'd hardly ever see each other. I'm barely even finding time for the housework these days.
I'd do it. I don't care if it's cramped either. Not if I could be with you.
Surely it's better for you to be living at home with Aunt Petunia, at least for now.
I am in high school, you know. I hate the way you treat me like I'm a kid all the time.
But you're 5 years younger than me, and I do remember you being a literal kid, so you can hardly blame me. In my mind, you'll always be 11 years old.
Stop thinking about me like that. I'm 17 now, and I'll be 18 in a few months.
Right, that's true. I guess you're right. It's not fair of me to treat you like a kid forever. I just can't believe how fast you're growing up. If I'm honest, I think part of me struggles to let go of the old you. But I have to accept that before long, you'll be out there facing the big wide world too. Can you believe it's been a whole 5 years since Mom and Dad passed away in the accident?
I know, it still doesn't feel real.
It's this weird, inexplicable mixture of feeling like both a lifetime and like it barely happened 5 minutes ago.
I know exactly what you mean.
Don't worry, sweetie. I'll make sure I'm back for your birthday and the anniversary of the day we lost Mom and Dad.
Okay, thanks. Then there's our plans for summer break.
Oh yeah, that too.
I know how forgetful you can be, so I'm gonna remind you every week.
You really don't have to do that. I'll remember, I swear. For the time being, I want you to focus on your studies like your exams are the only thing in the world that matter. We can enjoy our time together once they're out of the way. Oh yeah, and don't forget to decide soon which college you want to go as well. Don't worry about tuition fees. If you have your heart set on some place, we can make it happen.
Viv, are you sure about this? Are you really sure I can go to college?
I already told you like a million times over. Of course you can. Why do you think I'm putting in all this overtime of work lately? You better hurry up and choose a good one. Otherwise, it's all gonna have been for nothing. Oh crap. Sorry, sis. My break ended 3 minutes ago. Gotta go.
You're at work? Sorry.
It's cool. I was on my break anyway, so I am glad we got to talk. Catch you later. Hey, Aunt Petunia. I just sent over this month's private tutor fees and everything I saved up to cover Mackenzie going to college. I was super nervous transferring that much money in one go. Would you mind checking it went in?
Hey there, Viv. As always, thank you so much. Affirmative. I'll check in the next hour and get back to you.
Cool, thanks. There was something about Mackenzie I wanted to discuss with you, actually. How's she doing these days?
Huh? She just seems like her old usual self to me. Nothing out of the ordinary. Bright, bubbly, energetic, and a royal pain in my butt.
I see. I'm pleased to hear that. It's just that I kind of feel like she seems a little down lately. She told me she still hasn't decided on a college. She doesn't have much time. She'll be done with high school before long, and I'm really worried she's not gonna make it.
My husband and I haven't noticed anything out of the ordinary, sweetie. I've got a pretty good idea what's going on, though. You know how much she adores you. Surely she's just sulking because you won't come home to see her?
Ah, I see. Right. That does make sense, actually. It's funny on the one hand, she demands I stop treating her like a kid, while on the other, she sulks like a spoiled child when she can't get her own way.
Let the princess have her mood swings and don't be such a spoil sport. You're the only close family she has left. She thinks the world of you, so it's only natural she'd be desperate to see you. You did move out of the family home the moment you graduated to start working, after all. I don't know if she lets you know it, but not having you around has been hard on her. So off you went, you flew the nest and spread your wings, and she stayed behind on her own with us. Of course, we all love her, and I treat her like my own daughter, but we are ultimately just relatives. Even though we are all here for her, I still get the impression she feels lonely and isolated sometimes.
I wonder if it would have been better if she'd just have lived with me from the get-go.
Come on, Vivian, be real here. That was unrealistic back then. Oh, yeah. Have you told her yet? That you want her to move in with you once she graduates high school?
No, I haven't said anything yet. I'm keeping it quiet for the time being. If I told her now, I think it might impact her choice of college, and I can't bear the idea of jeopardizing her future just so she can move in with me. I'm waiting for her to make her mind up right now. If her choice of college happens to be near my workplace, I'll invite her to live with me. But if it doesn't, I'll let go of the idea. Her future has to be our #1 priority.
I get the impression her desire to be close to you is a lot stronger than any feeling she has towards college.
Yeah, you're right, but that's exactly why I'm holding off. Look, it's still early days. Maybe once she gets to work on actually looking for a place, she'll find a college she wants to go to more than she wants to live with me.
That's a big maybe, and let's face it, she's not the only one who feels that way, is she? You want to live with her, too. That is why you've been saving up to buy a nice, big, spacious apartment with room for you both to live in without driving each other crazy, right? It'd be a shame to see all of that hard work wasted. The thought of you ending up living separately, or, God forbid, in different states, is genuinely a sad one.
I feel you, but it wouldn't be fair of me to decide her future based on my feelings. I'm sorry to trouble you with this kind of thing all the time. We'd be lost without you, Aunt Petunia.
Don't be silly. What kind of a person would I be if I hung my late brother's orphaned little girls out to dry? Me and my husband think of you both as our daughters. But, you know, Vivian, I can't help but wonder whether Mackenzie really will end up going to college.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Think about it. What did her big sister, who she admires and looks up to more than anyone in the world, do? You found a job as soon as you graduated high school because you didn't want to be a burden on anyone. It wouldn't be that surprising if she said she wanted to do the same thing.
Sure, it's true, I didn't want to be a burden on anyone, but I also suck at academic stuff. Mackenzie's a smart cookie with a genuine shot at making it far in life. She's so clever she could go into any industry she wants.
Listen, Vivian, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I do think you should be a little more considerate of how your sister feels about all this.
How she feels? What do you mean?
Remember back when you had your finals coming up and my husband kept pressing you to decide which college you wanted to go to? You ignored him and decided to go your own way by getting a job instead. I'm not saying what you did was bad. In fact, I think it's great you chose your own life path instead of having it decided for you. But you should understand there's a chance Mackenzie feels exactly the same way as you did back then. Mackenzie is ultimately her own person with her own thoughts and feelings. Besides, there are a lot of people who decide to go to college later in life these days. If you think about it, 18 is a young age to be making a decision with such enormous, far-reaching implications on the rest of your life.
You make a strong case.
Sorry for going on at you, sweetie, but the point I'm trying to make here is that college isn't the only choice she has.
But I've been working so hard to save up the money for her tuition fees all this time.
And I think that's amazing. The fact that you did that for your little sister is admirable and deserves nothing but respect. But if Mackenzie decides on a different path, instead of repudiating it, I think you should keep an open mind and be considerate towards what she decides she wants her future to look like. Think about it. Do you regret not going to college?
Of course I don't.
Exactly. I think Mackenzie would really appreciate it if you showed a little more understanding towards what she wants, not just what society expects of her. Don't worry, sweetie, you're both still young. The pair of you are brimming with potential and possibilities. You can be whatever you want to be, and I'm confident that whatever happens, things will work out.
Okay, you're right. I'll try to be a little more considerate towards Mackenzie's feelings. Thank you.
Take care of yourself, sweetie. I look forward to hearing from you again.
I will. You too. Hey, Mackenzie, what's going on? I just heard from your friend Anastasia. You didn't show up for today's mock exam. Is everything okay? Are you sick?
Yeah, I didn't go.
Why not? What's going on?
It's fine.
It's so not fine. Are you going to tell me what's going on or not? Anastasia was so worried about you. You didn't even message her.
She doesn't need to worry about me, so chill out.
Excuse me?
I'm not going to college. I'm gonna find a job as soon as I graduate high school, just like you did. I can't bear the idea of making you suffer so much by doing all that overtime to put me through college when I'm not even that interested in going.
What are you talking about? I'm not suffering, Mackenzie. I'm doing it because I want to. How many times do I have to tell you you don't have to worry about me?
If I go to college, you'll have to shell out even more money. So much that it'll make the private lessons I've been having all this time look like a drop in the ocean. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars here. I can't have you throwing all that money at me on my conscience. I want you to stop living for me and start living for yourself. Spend your money on you for a change.
No way. You're going to college. I already sent your tuition fees. Aunt Petunia told you, didn't she? About how I finally got done saving and sent her the money. You're ready to enroll, sis. That's why everything you just said is nonsense. Your college fund is a done deal, dealt with, past tense. I don't have to live below my means now. And I don't have to do crazy amounts of overtime anymore. I can live for myself, just like you said.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Huh? You don't know? Hang on a second. Have you still not heard? Aunt Petunia said that she told you the other day.
I haven't heard anything. Besides, she's the one who's always telling me to stop being a burden on my big sister. She says all I bring you is suffering.
Huh? What the hell? No, really? What the hell?
She constantly harps on at me about how I need to get a job, how what I'm doing is wrong, and that I can't spend my life leeching off of others. She said if I went to college, you'd have basically no life of your own for the next few years, 'cause you'd always be working to look out for me.
That's not true at all. I found work and saved up your college fund as quickly as I could, precisely, so you wouldn't think you were a perpetual burden on me. Anastasia told me something else too. She said you want to be a vet. Well, you can't be a vet without going to college, so you absolutely have to go.
I didn't say I wanted to be a vet. Ugh. Who does she think she is? She doesn't get to decide my future. I just said I thought it might be a cool job.
I think so too, Mackenzie. If anyone can do it, you can. You're the smartest person I know. You can't give up on your future like this. But wow, I can't believe your aunt would say all those things to you. I wonder what the hell's gotten into her. Actually, she told me recently about how you were considering dropping the college idea and finding a job straight out of high school. She said she thought I should be more considerate towards how you felt.
She did? Interesting. It's almost like she's been trying to stop me going to college.
Right? The fact she didn't tell you that I sent you your college fund after finally getting done saving up the money is even more worrying. No way. Is Aunt Petunia planning on stealing the money?
Surely she wouldn't. That's crazy talk. I'll go ask her.
No, don't. Wait. You should ask Uncle Derek first. But even then, you need to be discreet. Don't let on you anything. Come to think of it, it's not impossible that Derek's in on it too.
I don't think he'd do that. It wouldn't make sense. Uncle Derek's always trying to encourage me to go to college.
Good point, you're right. But do you at least understand now? That you have nothing to worry about even if you want to go to college.
But what if Aunt Petunia already spent my college fund?
If that's really what's going on here, I'll make sure she pays back every last cent of it. It's the last thing I do. No matter what crap she tries to pull, she will pay it back. Aunt Petunia, where are you right now?
Huh? Now? I'm out right now.
Please, could you come home?
Huh? Why? Is everything okay?
I'm at your place right now.
Oh, you are? I do wish you'd have told me you were coming. I would have prepared you some coffee and cakes. I'm really sorry, sweetie, but I'm on my way to a concert right now. It's my favorite singer, and I've been looking forward to this for such a long time. I'm sorry to let you down, but I won't be back until this evening.
No, you need to come home immediately.
What are you talking about? Don't you think you're being a little selfish here? I already bought my ticket. This is pretty much the only thing I've had to look forward to all year. Vivian, is everything all right? Is there something you want to tell me?
The only one being selfish here is you. You bought that ticket with Mackenzie's college fund, didn't you?
Huh? Excuse me? I really have no idea what you're talking about.
I just had a look through your closet. It was full of more expensive designer goods and music merchandise than I've ever seen in my life. You could open a store with all the crap in here. Not only that, but you hid it all away covering it up with old bed sheets so your husband Derek wouldn't find it, didn't you?
You've been rummaging through my closet without my permission? How dare you?
I got Uncle Derek's permission.
He gave you permission? Does that mean he knows?
Yes, he agreed to let me have a look around because he wanted to know where you were getting all your money from. I gotta admit, you did a pretty good job of keeping the wool over everyone's eyes all this time. Me and Mackenzie were told our mom and dad left us behind $35,000 in inheritance money. But the real figure was $70,000, wasn't it?
No, Vivian, you've got this all wrong. Looking after you two costs a lot of money, you know.
Are me and my sister really that expensive? Let's make a liberal estimate and say it costs you $400 a month, each to look after us. You only look after me for a year, which would come to $4,800. The 5 years Mackenzie will have been with you, when she graduates high school comes to a total of $24,000. Even assuming you had all sorts of extra costs on top of that, if you started out with $70,000, you should easily have at least $35,000 of it left.
But, Vivian, please, hear me out. You have no idea how expensive raising girls can be.
I started sending Mackenzie a monthly allowance as soon as I left home and started working. She's proven more than capable of getting by on that. Sure, you may have bought her little things like candy and taken her out to eat every now and then, but whatever it comes to big purchases, I made sure she made them with money I'd sent her to reduce the burden on you as much as I possibly could.
But, Vivian, you have to remember I took the both of you in during your time of need. Taking in 2 girls, one in junior high and one in high school, is a huge commitment. Are you really going to hold this against me after everything I've done for you?
And guess what? It didn't come to anything near what you're saying.
I took you both in on a moment's notice. Surely it's only right that I get to keep half of the money as a fee for my troubles.
I'm not even saying you shouldn't get to keep a little something for yourself. You took on something most people wouldn't. But why didn't you just say that that's what you wanted from the start? We would have probably let you have some of it, if you'd just been honest with us. Oh yeah, and what about Mackenzie's college fund? You know, that freaking enormous sum of money I've been saving up forever since I started working? Where did that go? It hasn't been seen since I sent it to her bank account.
Oh, that? Well, it's not like it's all gone or anything, but,
Where is it then?
Where? I have it stashed away somewhere safe and sound, of course.
I asked Uncle Derek if he could look for it, but he said he couldn't find it anywhere despite practically turning the place upside down after doing some digging. I managed to find the traces of what you did with the money I gave you.
Vivian, I'm so sorry.
So you admit it then? That you stole and spent my parents' inheritance money and the money I spent years saving up so my sister could go to college? That's why you're trying to encourage her to find a job instead of going to college, isn't it?
I felt awful about what I was doing, but as soon as I started spending the inheritance money, I just couldn't stop. Things I just wanted seemed to keep appearing one after the other. First it was a bag in a shop window, then it'd be a restaurant for an advertisement on TV, then a pamphlet about luxury holidays showing up in my mailbox.
You're the worst. It wasn't...
Vivian, please forgive me. I'll do anything. I'll give back your sister's college money. I'll see to it that my husband comes up with it somehow. Huh? Me? By myself? Wait, but that means I'll have to get a job. No, I can't. You wouldn't force your poor old aunt to go out and work, would you?
You should know that Derek said that divorce isn't off the table.
Oh my God, but why? Sure, so maybe I did use a little more of your inheritance than I should. But you two are like daughters to me. I think the world of you.
Is this how you treat your daughters? Geez, I wouldn't want to be your enemy. You may have deceived us, but you know what? That isn't even what hurts the most. Because the feeling of being betrayed by someone you should be able to trust more than anyone in the world hurts a hell of a lot more. It makes me question everything. Was all the kindness all a ploy to get your mitts on our inheritance all along? We'll never know now, because we can't trust another word that comes out of your mouth.
I'm so sorry. I want you both to know how very sorry I am.
You could apologize a million times over, it still wouldn't bring the money back. Forget your empty words. If you're genuinely sorry, how about you show us by finding a job and getting to work on paying it back? You should know that I've been speaking to my grandpa on my dad's side. You know, your dad, he said he wants you out of his life, and that if he never hears from you again, he'll be a happy man.
What? But where am I supposed to go if Derek divorces me? I'll live nowhere. I'll be on the streets.
You're a grown adult. How about you see your brain and come up with a plan by yourself? Your position is a damn sight better than mine and Mackenzie's was when we lost Mom and Dad as teenagers. I'm sure you'll figure out something.
Vivian, please, won't you just hear me out? Listen, I'll forget all about tonight's concert and come home right now, and we can all talk this through together. My husband might be angry and talking about divorce now, but I just know he'll come around and help me come up with the money somehow once he calms down.
I wonder, will he really? I do think it's best for you to come home early, though. Uncle Derek left work earlier to come back when he found out what was going on. Not only him, but my grandparents on both sides of the family came over on short notice, too. If you really think the world of me and my sister, and if you really think of us as your own daughters, you'll do your best to understand our feelings and undo the damage you've caused by working with us to come up with an affordable repayment plan. After returning home, Aunt Petunia was fiercely condemned by virtually the whole family in a chorus of righteous indignation and forced to explain her actions. It started out with the misappropriation of mine and my sister's inheritance money, which, despite being a hefty sum, was no match for her boundless greed, and soon disappeared. After that, desperate to continue her spending spree at all costs, and clearly feeling no shame or remorse, she began using Mackenzie's college fund instead. It was plain for anyone to see that her only motivation was the selfish compulsion to satisfy her unquenchable desire for luxury and extravagance, which meant that naturally she didn't have a single ally or sympathizer, family or otherwise. Eventually, too disgusted with his wife to carry on, Uncle Derek decided to divorce her and cut her out of his life for good. After taking a chunk of her assets after her misdeeds came to light in divorce court, he paid me and Mackenzie back the inheritance his ex-wife had stolen from us in full. As for Mackenzie's college fund, Petunia's dad was kind enough to give his wayward daughter her inheritance early, providing she agreed to promise to pay us back what she owed immediately. Once Petunia's family had their assurances, me and my sister would get back what was ours. They said their goodbyes and vowed never to speak to her again. Upon finding out, she burst into tears in a desperate fit of hysteria, yelled, "But how am I supposed to live now? I'm not going to pretend I feel any sympathy for her." I hope she thinks of her new life of loneliness and isolation as her just deserts for betraying her nieces. But with the amount of hours she's going to be working, I doubt she'll have the time. I'll always be thankful for her taking us in back then, but unfortunately, the shock and sadness of what she did far outweigh our feelings of gratitude. If I can avoid it, I'd rather never see her again. It's difficult to admit, but I feel that some responsibility lies with me. I let her deceive me with her smooth talking because I was so naive and unassuming. It didn't occur to me that someone I was supposed to be able to trust might be capable of betrayal. She taught me a valuable lesson about the world, and I plan to take much better care of my finances from now on. Me and my sister had a heart-to-heart once everything had calmed down. It turns out she actually had her sights set on a certain college all along, and with the air clear of our aunt's lies, she decided to enroll. The college she picked happened to be a 20-minute train ride from my workplace. Woohoo! When I told her I wanted her to move in with me, she burst into tears and gave me what felt like the biggest, tightest hug of my life. Now she's working her butt off for her high college finals to make sure she gets the grades required to get into college. Uncle Derek has been great throughout all this. He said Mackenzie could live with him until she graduated, so she's staying with him for the time being. That we're still his #1 priority, despite the fact he just went through a painful divorce, really says a lot about his character. He's a rock, and we'll always appreciate him. Thanks, Uncle Derek. We may have been betrayed by our scheming, deceitful aunt, but we were fortunate enough to be surrounded by a far greater number of loving and supporting family members. We'll never forget how they had our backs in our time of need, and we'll always be grateful, never taking their kindness for granted. I can hardly wait for Mackenzie to move in with me next year. We're gonna have the time of our lives.